Hey, what's up, guys? I am giving a quick little intro here. I've got a ton of boxes behind me here that you can't really see. I'm going to do my build out of my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K rig and just do general questions and whatnot along the way as well. I'm just going to go ahead quick and get this stream posted in a couple places and then we'll get going. So that's kind of my intro. So hang on just a second here. Oh, it's gonna be a solid screen grab going on. Ooh, all right. Post this one other place. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna actually be using my computer screen as a. Oops, what I hit. As a second camera, so you can see it's the one down in the lower right. I'm going to turn that down so that you guys can see what I'm building here. And obviously I'm going to be standing here, so I know I'm super low in screen right now. I had a good discussion with somebody through comments about oh, did we just lose everything? Nope, we're back. About about audio and stuff like that a little bit earlier, so that was fun. Cool. All right, so wait for this to catch up a little bit. I'm gonna start just opening a bunch of stuff and go through it real quick here. So I guess I won't open these, but these are the zoom adapters. So for ND filters, we use an ND filter right now on our other cameras, on our Sony a7 III and other Sony cameras. And you know, we think they're a great tool. We think they're often overlooked by a lot of people, especially if you're just starting out, but it helps so much. And what this does is it's basically like a magnetic casing for your adapter or whatnot. So you can just, right now we have to screw them on and off, and it's kind of a pain. So this way you just pop them right on and off. Magnetic, holds it nice and tight, works super well. These are clips, it's the anchor mount for a strap. So part of this rig, I learned this from Henry Martins, and kind of talking with him a lot definitely prompted buying this camera and wanting to test it out. But I loved his use of a strap. You've seen people do it with like the neck strap of the camera to get some stabilization. But kind of going with this, like, it's not really a shoulder rig, but this kind of more run and gun rig than what we're used to, having all those points of contact, or the more points of contact you can, the better. And that strap added a lot of stabilization, took a little bit off your arms, your forearms, stuff like that. So I definitely liked that. So that's just a way to mount it. We've got our rods here. Rods here, and then these are the handles out front. Batteries, I'm going to get into my battery solution. I guess we'll make sure it all works and whatnot. But that was a lot of research that I did into how I wanted to power this. I decided not to go V-mount, mainly because I actually might like it for the weight, and so we're gonna see. I'll say this right now, like, this stuff, I'm putting it together for the first time, and I very well might change certain things, or it's possible that things won't even connect the way that I wanted to, or the way that I envisioned that happening. So, but the V-mount was big, and one of my big things was finding a way to mount that was not in the way of the screen. A lot of the builds that I did research on and saw other people doing, it was just so close to the screen, and that touch screen on the back of the Blackmagic is so important. I felt like it would be in the way. I think the weight to counterbalance would be helpful. These are a little bit lighter than a V-mount battery on the back, but I'm hoping they still work well for that. I'm hoping they can still be a point of contact. And these are the Sony NP F970 batteries or whatnot. Obviously off-brand Wasabi Power. I have used Wasabi Power batteries for forever since we were shooting on Canon and love them. So this is that kind of style. It's the same thing that you use to monitor or to power like a small HD monitor. It's a smaller version, but stuff like that. So it's kind of like a big version of that. And let's get this one open. I think this is the lens that I'm going to at least start with. I decided, like many people, to go with the Sigma 18-35. I love the Sigma art lenses. They are top-notch in my book. Like I said, we shot Canon for a really long time. We still shoot Canon for photo. I still honestly think I prefer the Sigma art lenses compared to a lot of the Canon lenses. I mean, obviously, the Canon lenses are beautiful and sharp and perfect, but they're also, you know, double the price, sometimes even more. So I love the Sigma art lenses. I highly recommend them. And so I'm pumped to get a camera that I'm going to use this lens because I didn't have anything specifically because we shoot full frame Canon photos. And the 1850 or 18-35 is for a crop sensor. So this, somewhere in here, I've got an adapter, so it's not cropping in, 1.9 or whatever the crop is normally. It'll bring it down to like a 1.4 or something like that. So it's going to be a really nice range. I think that ends up being like a 24 to 24 to like 55 or something like that. But a great range to kind of get some wide stuff, get some close stuff. I picked a lot of this stuff up around Black Friday. There were some deals on some of this. Some of this I was just kind of waiting for a long time to see, when it would drop a little bit. This lens I actually bought used off of KEH, I think. And I've bought tons of my gear used. I'm never opposed to that, especially something like this where, my goal with this camera is to introduce it into weddings slowly. We're pretty happy with our Sony setup right now. I love the image that's coming out of the Blackmagic that I see some other people getting, and I want to try my hand at that. So, yeah, we're going to introduce it slowly. I think my plan right now, assuming everything works out, is to bring it in and really use it for just a few select shots, maybe some establishing stuff, some romantics with the couple, stuff like that, and really get used to that workflow, make sure, it's basically just like bonus footage at this point. I'll still get some other stuff, with our normal setup, and then introduce this, see what we're thinking, and go from there. So stuff is supposed to be in like brand new condition. Looks like a different lens cap, but that's fine. So yeah. One of the big things with this too that I really thought was important, and kind of the reason I went with this over, I was looking at like the Lumix, 12-24 or something like that. First of all, again, Sigma art, I'm a huge fan. I think it's super sharp, and everything that I've seen kind of reiterates that. But a big part is the when you're going from 18-35 or whatever, you can see we're zooming in and out, but it's all internal. So it's not extending this. If you did ever want to put it on a gimbal, or even once you kind of, like on a shoulder rig or something like that, obviously you can extend it. It's not that big of a deal, not like on a gimbal, but, you are going to kind of build that rig out to be not balanced like a gimbal, but generally balanced. So we got that. We got a lot more stuff going on here. I'm planning to run into the solid state drive. I don't really want to use CFast cards or anything like that. This can hold a bunch of footage, so this is just the T5. Everybody's kind of using this. And looking forward to that. So for focus, I'm planning to use the Tilta. What would I go with? Nucleus. We'll see when we open it. It's just to mount it on those rails. Put that off to the side. It's the hold the monitor. Base plate. This is what we're going to attach our battery to. This is part of that battery solution here. This up here real quick. So I'll hold this out down here so you guys can see it. So this is, well, it's got that screw in there. But this is going to be how we mount those batteries. Then this end is going to go right into the Blackmagic port, and then you can use this screw and screw that, you know, onto the cage or whatnot. So I'll lay this down. And this actually, I was a little bit worried about this, but it's pretty. This is all metal. Looks like it has a little clip to actually keep the battery in. Something I was worried about. Yeah, it feels actually very well built. Weird brand, never heard of it, Coolertron, but I didn't find any really name brands making this thing, so that's what we're left with. All right, so this is the same thing as this, I believe, just another like bracket for the rails. Of course, got the Blackmagic here. These are the clamps for the cage to hold all your cables in so they can't pull out. This is the holder for the Samsung T5 drive, which again I think is really cool that they make one specifically for that. Obviously, you know, it's super fast, it's so lightweight, everybody loves it. But let's see. And then here's the cage. So I'm gonna open this because we're gonna get started here. Start to get started. Take this out. And I do plan to do a video that is not going to be however long this takes me. Quite a long time, I would imagine. It will be a little more streamlined. Alright, I'm going to put this down for now. So this is the cage. I was debating between the full cage and the half cage. I went with small rig. I was also looking at the Tilta cage. I actually don't know if I'll end up needing the full cage. My setup might be just really the half cage, but I figured it wasn't that much more. I don't feel like this will really get in the way for me, so I figured I might as well get this. I'll have a little more option to expand if I want to. Put that back here. We've got, I think, just 2 more boxes to open up, then we'll start building out. And guys, as I go through this, again, let me know if you guys have questions or anything. I am happy to talk about whatever, pass some time while I do this. Here's the strap, just from Peak Design. I should have just taken one off of my shoulder bag, but whatever. Here's the adapter. I went with the Viltrox adapter to adapt that lens onto the Blackmagic. I've heard mixed reviews about this. I've honestly heard mixed reviews about everything, including the Metabones. The Metabones was quite a bit more expensive. If I don't like this, that's probably where I'll end up going. I think those are a little more solid. I think plenty of people are getting great stuff with this, but it seems like the quality control might be a little all over the place. So if you're getting a good copy, you're good to go. If you're getting a bad copy, you might have some issues. So we'll see how that goes. And then the small HD monitor. We use the small HD 5, small HD Focus 5. We love that. This is the 7, so basically, you know, same, very similar, bigger. I did want a bigger screen. I love the 5, but just with, you know, kind of not having the option of any real autofocus. Not that I use autofocus, you know, like in itself or by itself. But it is nice to just grab a point quick and then kind of adjust in from there. So without some of that, or kind of without trusting the Blackmagic, I wanted something bigger when I pull with that wheel or with the tilta. So that's what I decided with that. And last but not least, actually I'm not really sure what this one is, nor how to open it. All right, I think that I can see, oh, here we go. I think I can see you guys if you post comment if you've got a question. I don't know that I have it pulled up correctly, but if you got any questions, either about why I chose stuff for this or, again, anything wedding video, whatever, shoot. I'm an open book. Happy to chat through whatever. This was definitely not how to open this box. And so this is the Tilta nucleus. Let's see. And this is how we're going to control the focus. Just so you don't have to reach out front. You got it right at your fingertips. I'll show it to you real quick here. Got a pile of boxes going. So this is what attaches onto your rails, and then this goes onto the lens. And you can see it rotates. And then this is what you have close to you. So, you know, you're turning this, it's spinning that gear, and it's pulling focus for you. And then you can also do recording right from here, some other options as well. So super handy with that. How'd this go in? Something like that looks right. Oh, and perfect. I was hoping it would come with this because I didn't buy one. I didn't check the contents of the box. But this is just like the kind of the opposite. This goes on your lens so that that gear can catch and pull focus smoothly for you. All right, so I'm gonna start putting this together. I don't know what a whole lot of these boxes. I'll probably get them mixed up here and there. But bear with me. I'm gonna grab these rails out first. Gotta be careful to separate what's actually empty and what's a box down there that I gotta still use. All right, get these rails out. Oh, they're individually wrapped. That's, I guess, good. I don't know. I went with the 12-inch rails. I almost got 8-inch. Then last second, I decided to go with 12. And these I think are gonna be just fine. I just didn't want something too big. I feel like this is already a bigger rig than what we typically use. But I'll start there. Also, guys, if there's anything wrong with the stream, if it's lagging or anything like that, let me know. Because I don't really have a way of testing. I don't have it pulled up on anything else right now. I'm just seeing it from my streaming software. So give me a heads up if anything's looking wrong there. Bunch of small rig parts. Small rig is pretty cool. I haven't dealt with them too much, but you can basically build out, honestly, whatever you want. That was for the hard drive. Like you can just customize so well your rig and your kit, which is cool. You gotta do a lot of visualizing though, you know. Figure out exactly how things are gonna fit together, and you don't necessarily have it in front of you. But right. So again, I don't know exactly where this stuff is gonna sit. Once I get like the batteries, stuff like that, I'm definitely going to want to figure out kind of where that weight sits well and feels, you know, somewhat balanced. But for now, we'll just kind of get a starting point, and we'll go from there. End up with a bunch of Allen wrenches here. So I don't know that this is going to work, but this was my plan to mount the... Oh man, these are uneven a little. This was my plan to mount the... Sorry, losing my train of thought. To mount the battery holder, and then that way, oops, wrong way. You know, it sits on the back here. It adds kind of that counterbalance, or counterweight. And then it also can work as a kind of another point of contact right here. That was something I liked about the V-mount scenario, just because it was so big. And you could also put it upright, so you get that nice kind of like, you know, against your chest, against your stomach, depending on what you're filming. But I didn't like, again, that it was, especially when it's upright, you're blocking so much of that screen, and so many of the controls are on the screen, on the touch screen, and not through, you know, physical buttons, or a mix of the two. And so wasn't sure if I wanted to do that. That's for the cage. I'm going to put this off to the side. Monitor mount, I'll put that off to the side. The handles, I'm also going to put off to the side. Let's see. Maybe get the camera up now. We have so much recycling. Monitor. Got our DaVinci Resolve, got our LPE6 battery or whatever, which I don't plan to use. Although actually I do plan to have one in there. I like the idea that, you know, if your battery pack does disconnect, or you know, you could run out of battery, maybe you don't notice it. These things don't have the best you know, I think it's just a green light or a red light or whatever. You know, so there's definitely a benefit of having this in there, because it'll kick over to that. But I definitely don't plan to rely on these as my main source of power, just because you'd have to carry like 25 of these things. People always got on Sony, I remember, with the A7 II or A7S2 and other similar cameras, that it was just, oh, I have to carry so many batteries. But I never thought that was a big deal anyway. I never needed the amount of batteries some people were saying. I think people should be a little more I don't know, stingy with what they shoot. You shoot things that you're going to use, and there's a certain amount of capturing, what's happening for sure. But man, yeah, if you're going to overshoot and cruise through 15, 20 batteries, that's rough for you. I don't know. Oh, what's up, Wedding Pros? You guys should jump in here. Actually, you guys should just tell me how to do this. You've built out a bunch of these, I think. Let's see. That's the T5. Where's my cage? Oh, shoot. I forgot. Here we go. Gotta keep all these straight. Let's see if one of these... Should have grabbed the thing at Allen wrenches too. Let's see if one of these will fit. Ah, perfect. All right, close that back up so we don't lose anything. Put that there. Put that there. Wrong way. Oh no, we're right. I love it. Thank you. Thank you for watching me suffer. Alright, so throw this guy in the top. Get that relatively tight. And on the bottom, it's got this, there's like these, what are they, locator pins or something, in addition to the screw. So that's going to keep you from turning your camera, which is nice. Make sure those get in there. Yeah, dude, I thought about getting the 6K. I don't know if I was talking with you about this, but man, I went back and forth for a long time. Because, like, on one hand, yeah, I mean, I don't know, you future-proof yourself or whatever. But, I don't know. And the EF lenses, I really wanted that. I didn't really want to use an adapter because I kind of hate that. But, I don't know. I didn't want to pay the extra money for it, especially just not knowing for sure that I'm going to utilize this in a wedding. I mean, this is very much a test to some extent. We'll kind of see what we think of it, if it's a workflow that we want to deal with, because obviously it's going to be more of a pain. But yeah, just kind of wanted to figure that out first before we jumped in. But I do think if we do switch over to this, we'll probably get we'll probably end up with 3 would be my guess, and we do 2 4Ks and a 6K probably. There's a chance I would keep a Sony on a gimbal. I do want to experiment with one of these on a gimbal and see if I can find a lens combo that I like, because I do like some ultra wide stuff. Like, I am always flying a 16-35, so yeah, I don't know. We'll see about that. I'm not sure what will happen. So we could stay a little bit Sony as well. Definitely possible. Yeah, actually, if you guys have lens recommendations, man, throw them in the comments. I'm curious. I don't really want to switch over like all my prime set. That was actually one benefit of doing the adapters. Like, since we shoot photo on Canon, we have so much like L glass and whatever. Or EF basically, so we can mount all that. So that's nice. But I'm definitely intrigued with some of the older like primes and stuff too. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Oh, let's see which. Gotta keep better track of this. I might just see what we end up with. Might be this one. Oh wait, nope. It's this one. Are you running a 16-35 on, or are you running the Canon 16-35? I'll await your response. There we go. Yeah, I really like the 16-35 focal length. That's what I ran on, the 5D. I don't know what we're shooting. 5D Mark III before we switched the Canon version, and then that was one of the first lenses I got for the Sony. Yeah, probably my favorite lens. I don't have a screwdriver, so we'll just keep that not super tight for now, I guess. Let's grab this guy. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I used that 16-35 and I liked it, but I actually did think it was soft as well. And that was on 5D3, so 5D3 is kind of soft in general. But it's more just like, I love that focal length. I love being able to get like ultra wide stuff. That's very, I don't know, me, or what I go for, or what I like. So yeah. All right, we're gonna see if this threads on here well. Keep dropping it. Let's see. I probably want the cord facing forward. So yeah, I think this is actually gonna work out how I wanted it to. What do you guys? I guess I don't know which wedding pro I'm talking to. But what are you guys using for your battery solutions? Are you doing V-mount? It's kind of in the way. So maybe I do want to do it out the back. Alright, so this ends up plugging in. Wow, these things, I read that these were kind of a pain in the way. I do not disagree with that, that's for sure. Get in. Where are those little pins? Sorry, you see me crouch down because I've got this thing tilted down. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I looked at the power base too. It looked cool. They were just on sale. Like, I think they were like, well, they weren't cheap, but relatively cheap. Where's that little notch? Man, it's so hard to see. Get these things out of my way. So close. There we go. All right. Again, I haven't tightened this thing down too well because I don't have a screwdriver. I should grab a coin, which I also don't have readily available. So we're going to stick with this. Alright, here's the T5 mount. Actually, I'm going to mount the monitor first. Because I'm not quite sure how everything's going to kind of shape up here. And there's a chance that I'm going to be short a little bit. As far as just like random little, connectors or whatnot. So I want to get the monitor on there because I know exactly where I want that. Or I know I want it, center. And I want to keep it relatively low. Like I don't want this monitor that's like 10 feet up in the air or something like that. I generally just don't like the way that feels for me. I know some people love that. Nothing wrong with it. But oh sweet, I'll check out the okay, you bought 4 of them. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll check out the build. You can tell me if it's, I imagine it's pretty different than this, but I mean all these builds are they're all very similar, right? I mean nobody's doing anything insane. I'm gonna sit down for just a second while I get this on here, but you gotta find that little variation or whatever. Oh shoot. Yeah, so I know there's a little piece that you can grab here that can offset a little. So I don't know if I bought that or not, but we will see. Okay. Yeah, that was one of my other thoughts. I think I have an extra of like the rail mounts that I mounted the battery plate or whatever on right here. So yeah, we'll see. I do love the small HD packaging. Their packaging was good on the 5 as well. Ooh, ultra clear screen protector. Wow. Alright. So boxes everywhere. Back with this. Yeah, this feels like a solid monitor. This definitely feels like way bigger than the 5. Well, this might feel too big for me. Might end up switching it. That on there nice and tight. We gotta tighten this up too. Don't want it flopping all over. But again, the nice thing with this is you can still, it holds, but you can move it around. And this is that small rig mount. Yeah, that seems pretty good. I'll dial in all that. Oh yeah, I just got your messages. All right, let's try that T5 mount. I think that's here. Yeah. See if we can get it on there. I feel like some of these boxes I want to keep and some I don't. I gotta figure out which ones will do which. Alright. Smaller here. So could I so yeah, I think it might have to go right here. It could go up or not like that. So it could go up, but that's probably gonna block the inputs there. have to go this way if it went over there. I don't think that will fit. So yeah, it looks like maybe right here is an option. It's going to be coming out of the back, which I don't love, but yeah, I guess the other option, although I do want this nice and close, I guess the other option, either mount it back by the battery, or raise the monitor a little bit. Again, I really don't want it up high, so for now, we're going to mount it here and just see what that looks like. Takes precision. I'm going to sit down to do this. Sorry if I'm a little bit out of frame. You can tell I'm not a handyman by any means. Oh, got it. Actually, let's see. Let's take this down. There we go. All right, bring this back up. And I'm going to grab, I was going to grab one of my other T5s, but I guess they're not at my desk. So we'll grab this new one, we'll open it up here. I think I have 3 different colors of these now. I think we've got a black one, a blue one, and a silver one or something. Oh, don't need that. And these are let's see, actually. What do I need? Yeah, there we go. Loosen this guy up, loosen this guy up. These things kind of run into each other. That's kind of a pain. Alright, so we got that down. Let's see this thing twisting all over because I don't have the camera mounted well. Alright, throw that guy in. And this is cool, it clamps it down, keeps it secure. You're not going to rip it out or anything like that. So, trying to pull that out right now and it won't come out. So you're definitely not going to bump it out or anything like that. And we'll throw this in here. And let's see, where is... Yeah, so this is the cable clamp, I think. What else will I have going in? I've got the monitor. Let's see. Actually, I don't know if this comes with a cable, I guess. Alright, so I'll grab one. I think you can get one with a cable and like battery and whatnot included, but I already had a bunch of these batteries, so I must have done it without the cable. But I imagine let's see if it takes any of these. Man, these things are in the way. Oh yeah, so we're going normal HDMI. And what's out on this? So this does limit how far you can tilt down your monitor, but I mean, I probably don't need to go past that ever anyway. So you're not going to go flat, but other than that. Okay, so HDMI. Alright, so actually, let's see, I might not have the, well, I don't have it on me, that's for sure. Let's see if I have one of these cables somewhere, but we'll come back to that, because that's not hyper important. I should grab a screwdriver is what I should do, but, oh, actually, is this? No. Alright. Extra cable. So this is interesting. I'm going to grab a coin real quick just so I can tighten this down, because we're going to add a few other things. Gotta avoid the boxes. Alright. Oh, did I keep this on the whole time? No, we're good. Oh wait, I did a thing. Let's see, how do I turn this square off? Alright, so now this thing's starting to get a little heavier. I gotta tighten this down. Alright. Not perfect, but definitely better. Add one of the batteries on here. Don't need all these, but can you see, let's see, we're right here. Yeah, I think you can see there's green light on now, so that's nice. Lets me know that we're good to go. This feels very secure, so I do like that. I was a little bit worried, as I mentioned, but it does have this kind of release here to help hold that in place. Almost cut myself. It's gonna mount right here. I think at least. Yeah, there we go. Put this back in. Oh no, I think we're a little too high. There we go. Man, these plastic pieces, like the covers of all the different ports, real pain. Just very in the way. Alright, so grab this guy again. Plug that in. I don't have the cable for my monitor on me. I think I do have one somewhere, but so we'll go with just the drive there for right now. And that again locks that in place. And this one would be for the HDMI, which we will have eventually. Alright. That is that. What else do we need to add? I guess we can add the handles. Now, I am not positive how I'm going to I guess the direction I'm going to for sure end up here, but I grabbed some handles. We're going to see if that's the route I want to go. I have a few other options as well. We'll see how it goes. We'll grab all this stuff out. Another rail here. Try to center this up roughly. And grab the actual handles. Now I got that, what was it? Nano nucleus or whatever, but I am, or I was and still am, contemplating, is it the nucleus M or something? The one that's the handle intrigues me, but we'll see. But that has the like the, get this straight roughly here. It has the pull focus or whatever, like on the finger of the handle. So this looks a little bit off-centered. Looks a little bit better. I'm actually going to hang this off the front. And again, part of this is just kind of playing with, you get all these things mounted and figuring out kind of the balance of where you want things to sit. It's nice because you can, of course, shift all of this around as you see fit. No, I did not cut like any of that. All right. Oh shoot. So, so I'm short an anchor mount here. So again, guys, like I said, there's definitely some building of this that you gotta wait till you actually get there and start doing it. So I'm short one of these mounts, I believe. I thought this would come in a 2-pack. I didn't realize it was just one. But maybe one comes with the strap. Let's see. We'll find out. And I do need to figure out how I want to mount this also. So this is what, right here is what the wheel is going to sit on for the tilt the nucleus and I need to have it in a way that I can operate while holding the camera. So yeah, we're gonna have to play around with that, see what we want to do there. But right now this is feeling pretty good. Except that things aren't really tightened down, of course, so they're moving around a bunch. With that strap, it would be even better. So, I'm thinking, as we set this down very gently, I want to do it with my left thumb, so I'd actually like it to sit here. But that's probably going to be low for me. Actually, it'd have to be there. Well, that actually might be perfect. Could also sit on here. Let's see how big that thing is. Let's actually mount it kind of reverse here. Alright, so I'll get that on there. Alright, so if it sits here, actually that's going to be pretty good. It's awfully close, but if there's enough room that would work. Or if it sits here. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Or I guess I could sit here. No, that's going to be too far. I mean, of course, I could put it here or something like this, but the issue is this would be, can move the camera back. This would work like this, but I really want to be able to hold those handles and operate this. And I don't think that's going to be a great option. So it might be, we're going to try it on the handle here. Again, we're testing this stuff out, see what works. This is, again, one of those things I mentioned that I was considering the Nucleus Nano or whatever, the one that's the handle. So I still might end up going that route if I can't really get this in a spot that I love. So the issue with it here is that it's going to be, let's get this handle on and then I'll adjust it. It's going to be with the record button facing out. And I don't think that I can mount it the other way. So this actually feels really nice. I've got, I'm able to hold this with both hands, which I like. And I'm able to get, let's see. I mean, I can get all the way around. That's not great, but really, I'm able to get like a half rotation or so. I can also do it this way. So that might work. Let's try it the other way as well. Just see if I like that better. Of course, I'm not going to make any major decisions until I actually shoot with this, because I also do care how it handles, like if it's introducing any extra shake or stuff like that. That looks somewhat even. Take that down. I'm going to take this whole front off. Okay, not a huge fan of this cord here, but as mentioned by Jason, I don't think it's possible to mount this any other way, at least the way this is right now, because of the monitor. We can't do that the other way around, which I would prefer, but that's okay. So I think we were looking at this way. Get this on here. We'll lock it down, but we're gonna, I'm sure, change that around. We have to lock this, actually. Bring this back as far as we can, I think. Get these on, and then we'll adjust it from there. Okay. So, bringing this back around. So this right now I can tell you, I think the camera needs to be a little closer to me. It's not like terribly heavy or anything, but just everything is very far forward. So this is another option. That feels pretty good too, actually. I still have the, that was a tough call. I still have the record button though up. It's like down here, I think. Yeah, it's at the very bottom. So see if we can mount that the other direction. I'm gonna play around with this while it's like this. See if we can get it in a better, it's a little far away from me. Okay, so we're gonna have interference there a little. Ah, there we go. Maybe like that. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Cool. I like that for now. But again, all of this is going to be moving back. We don't even have a lens on there right now, and it feels a little front heavy. So in fact, I'm going to just start doing that now. So that's going to stay. Let's grab that lens and just throw it on there. The adapter. I do think you have to calibrate this adapter, so, but I'm not going to do that right this second. Oops. And the lens, actually, will. Yeah, looks nice. All right. Also, if you guys hear some general background noise, I apologize. That is my computer hardly handling streaming multiple video frame or video whatever you call it, sources and whatnot. It's not happy with me right now. Alright, so now that we have that on there, take this off. Let's see, it's not touching anything. Cool. Let's just see how this feels weight-wise. Again, I want that strap to be set, but it feels pretty good. Again, it's nothing crazy. I don't have batteries in the monitor right now, though. And the more that I'm thinking about this battery in the back, I like where it is, but right now I have the cord coming out the back, and I think I'm going to switch that around, make it come out the front. Especially because I'm always pressing on this. I don't want to wear out that cord too quick by putting a bunch of weight on it. Now, one thing I do need to figure out is mounting. Well, I gotta get this on there first, but I also need to mount the motor for the drive, or for the let's see, how do I loosen these up? Tiny screwdriver, maybe? The motor for the, oh wait, this one looks like I can. Nothing super tiny in there. Alright, let's just read this real quick. Probably something super easy and dumb, but I don't really want to mess around with it, so. Alright, I've got the Nano already on the wheel. Does this thing just fit on? I don't even know. Guess I should have tried that first. That's too big. Where's the other one? That one's way too big. All right. Ah, here we go. Just pull it out, of course. I thought these like clamped usually, or had like a little screw. Alright, so that's tight. Go on there. Get this lined up. There we go. Might have been able to go one more. Alright. Since we have this on this side, I think we're going to mount the motor on the other side if I can get it out. Oh shoot, we might be, let's see. We can move some stuff back. We could actually go under probably. Or we could bring a bar off of here. Oh, might have to get a longer bar. So we'll try going under and see if we can get that to work. I think that should work because I could move the camera back more and I might end up doing that. But since I'm left-handed and using that already over here, I could maybe get this over here actually. We'll see. We'll see about going under first. And we'll take it from there. Also, I'm going to go ahead and just lay this over the edge to make it a little bit easier for me. And I'm sorry if I'm not talking into the mic a whole lot or not super well. I'm obviously moving around a lot during this, so bear with me. These little knobs to twist. You don't have a whole lot of room to grab them. Alright, there we go. Got that. So we're going to mount this under is the plan. Ooh, and that is not going to work either. So we are going to have to go here. That might force us to scoot some things back. We will see. Alright, so that's in there. I don't love now that it's all on one side. Not that, you know, the wheel or this thing are incredibly heavy or anything, but still just kind of always thinking about that weight. Yeah, and so we are going to have to move the camera back a little further again. And then, so let's, do we have extra room here to move back if we wanted to? Do have a little bit. So, loosen these guys up again. Loosen this guy up again. Man, I almost thought I went overboard with the 12-inch rails, but that might not be the case. And I can move around where on the lens this sits a little bit. Try there. Tighten those guys down. Let's see if these fit on now. Yeah, we're getting blocked by yeah, they're still blocked a little bit by the little lever on the bottom of the motor for the tilt. There we go. Alright, let's see if that gives us the room we need. There we go. Alright, so that all fits. Gotta tighten it, of course, with this little lever that's pretty hard to reach. Alright, I'm gonna bring this back a little, make it a little more stable. I think we could get this one tighter, actually. Well, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. See if I can at least. And then we bring this off. We'll make sure that the nano is actually connected, which might be tough. With this on, so we might have to take this back off again to get a little room to get that lever. There we go. Take these handles off again. Get this guy lined up in. Oh, so that might be the issue here. I don't have the camera still tightened down that well, so this is pushing it. That's going to be a problem, of course. So we'll line that up for now and take care of that when I grab a screwdriver. Alright, so we're getting pretty close to the end of this build. I did not put batteries into this, so that's fine. I'll do that at the end. Got an extra one of these. I'm trying to think what else. Let's open this strap and see if it does come with a another anchor mount. Otherwise, I'm going to be down one of those. Oh, looks like it actually does come with one, so. Cool. That's a nice little bag. Not that I know what I'll use it for, but cool little bag nonetheless. This one is actually a little bit different than my strap I had for my messenger bag from Peak Design, but this should still work. I wonder if I got, let's see, I think there was like a light version, maybe I bought that. In any case, I think it should still be fine. And let's get this piece of paper out of here. All right. And this is backwards. Let me turn this around. So I've already got one anchor mount on, and I just kind of guessed as far as the location. I put it right here. We'll see if that ends up being the right spot for it or not. And then the other anchor mount will go on the left side. And I think this might be something I kind of need to, like, just, I mean, obviously something I need to test out, but also trying to think of how exactly I'd wear it, and in turn where those points need to be. So I think this left side needs to be a little bit lower. Or let's see, would it be, let's just try it here first and we'll go from there. So grab this guy. Alright, tighten that up a little more. Again, my camera's still not tight in the base plate, so what are you gonna do? Grab a screwdriver, I guess, but I haven't done that yet, so get this in here. I do believe that these are interchangeable as far as the direction goes. I could be wrong though. Yes, I am. Alright, so we gotta turn this around real quick. Maybe they were interchangeable, I just am bad. Alright. Oh, this already had one. Whoops. That's fine, we'll take that one out, and we'll put this one in. And then I just know right off the bat, I'm going to have to tighten this up a whole lot. Because I do want this pretty snug on me, and also I'm a smaller guy, so. Alright, let's test this out. Meanwhile, that battery's been running like the whole time, but that's fine. So yeah, I want this lower because I don't want this dragging on, well, I'm actually going to wear it like this, but I don't want it pulling on, you can see the camera, I don't want it pulling on the cords there. Whoop. Tough when I know the camera's going to twist off, so. And we're going to give a little bit more of this back. That was too tight. And I guess that could actually change once we grab this and move it, but that's all right. So I'm going to move this down here, I think. Oops, wrong one. So that way it's going to come up and it's not going to hang on any of these cords that are holding the, like the SSD, what will eventually hold the monitor once I grab that cable. And mainly, you know, I do have that piece here that's securing that stuff. Like I can't even pull it out, but it's kind of like the battery mount in the back. It's just, you know, bending those wires right where they connect, I feel is kind of just asking for trouble. And I don't really want to play that game. So let's see. I wonder if we have anything else. I have the extra batteries. I think that might be just about it, guys. I know I didn't get it like up and running. That's not really my plan for this. Just to kind of put it all together, generally speaking, so you can see what I'm thinking. This was, you know, a long just live stream to build something out and feel like I'm accomplishing a little bit more than just building it and having it documented. I do plan to do a video once I kind of finalize stuff of exactly what I'm running and why and what I'm liking. And this might not be the final rig. It could definitely change. This actually worked out better than I thought. I might still switch over to the Nucleus Nano or whatever it's called. I keep getting that screwed up. I need to grab the cable for this, and I do need to turn the battery mount around and then kind of just figure everything out as far as where I want it to sit on the rails. This stuff is all lined up pretty well, but that could definitely change just with where I kind of want things to be for my hands and whatnot. So I don't know if you guys got any other questions. Last minute, shoot, while I start to pack a few things up. Otherwise, I've got my how to edit weddings. I think I'm in video 4 on that series. Obviously, this is only like the second or third time I've live streamed. I hope this setup is working decently well, but live stream's not really my thing. Just thought this would be a fun little side thing. But yeah, I got video 4. I think we're talking about actually building out that story. We've done organization and importing. We've done music selection, and we have done multicam syncing, audio selects, and kind of lining a few things up to get that roadmap for your story. But we're going to dive more into the story, I believe, sequencing and cutting and stuff like that. Don't quote me on that. That's going to be this week. I think I'm going to wait till Thursday or Friday. I usually try to do it Tuesday or Wednesday, but with Christmas Eve, I'm going to push it off until later in the week. And then I think that's going to put us halfway through that series, which is pretty cool. I've been doing one a week on that. I've got a few other videos coming out as well that I still need to record, but scripting them and whatnot. So stay tuned for those. Let's see. I think that's just about everything. I'm going to try and keep tinkering around with this, grab a screwdriver, tighten things up. This will probably go live as a replay. Sorry it's super long, obviously. But super impressed so far. I really like the way this build is coming together. There were a few things I was worried about. Still a few things I need to figure out. But really happy to see kind of the way this is sitting in my hand, where this is for focus control. Feels really nice. Yeah, just pretty pleased with how this is coming together. Feels like it'll be pretty solid. Still definitely need to test the footage. I still need to get used to this workflow even as well. So anyways, yeah, let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. I'm not a master on this exact setup. Again, this is my first time building it out. You watch me open all those boxes. So, but I'll answer whatever I can, questions about whatever else as well, and then look out for the next video in the How to Edit Weddings series coming out later this week. So that's it. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. I know it was long, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.